Isla was a married woman who worked in a construction company. She was the only woman in her office and, due to her beauty and attractiveness, she was very popular among her male colleagues. At first, Isla even liked being the center of attention. She enjoyed flirting with the men in the company, but she soon began to feel uncomfortable with the constant comments and stares from the men. She tried to ignore the inappropriate behaviors, but they continued to happen. The men in the company started making inappropriate jokes and unwanted advances. Isla began to feel excluded and extremely disrespected, and she felt powerless to do anything about it. She decided to speak with the company manager, a charming man who was always well-groomed and smelled good, but he took no effective measures to resolve the problem. Instead, he began to make malicious insinuations about Isla's attitude. On one day the manager was in a very good mood and hugged Isla with great desire and began to kiss her neck. Isla left the manager's room dazed and confused. After that day, the conversations in the company about Isla and the manager, Rick, having an extramarital relationship, began to be constant and various jokes with her name were running in the company. Isla thought about explaining to her husband Robert what was happening, but she couldn't find a way to tell her husband what was happening. This caused tension in her marriage and Isla felt alone. Isla's husband also became jealous and insecure due to the constant attention that the men in the company gave her. He accused her of cheating with her colleagues and questioned her loyalty. This caused many misunderstandings and arguments between them and eventually led to a distance between husband and wife. Robert hired a detective to spy on his wife. The detective was known for being experienced and very effective in his work. Joseph the detective followed Isla's steps for 3 months and got some pictures of Isla with the manager Rick. These photos left Isla's husband even more confused. Was Isla cheating on her husband with the company manager? Isla began to feel divided between her work and her personal life, and she struggled to balance the two things. She felt helpless and desperate due to her situation, not knowing how to handle the harassment at work and the tensions in her relationship. The tension and stress caused by the harassment affected her self-esteem and mental health. Isla began to lose confidence in herself and feel demotivated at work. She began to miss work frequently and her performance at work began to suffer. Her once exuberant beauty began to lose its shine. Isla didn't take care of herself. She gained 12 kilos and lost all interest in her husband. Isla needed time to recover and deal with these personal issues. There were many infidelity accusations. Her husband claimed that Isla had relationships outside of the marriage. She sought help from a therapist and started working on her mental and physical health. She decided to take better care of herself and started eating healthy again and exercising regularly. Gradually, she started feeling better about herself and regaining her self-esteem. Finally, after a long time dealing with this situation, Isla decided to leave the company. She found another job in a company where she was treated with respect and was not the object of harassment. She felt relieved and happy to have finally gotten out of a toxic situation and found a healthy work environment. Over time, she also managed to improve her relationship with her husband and reconnect with him. Robert understood that Isla was the victim in this situation and that her faithfulness had been put at risk. Isla never betrayed her husband. She learned to love and value herself, and not allow the words and actions of others to affect how she felt about herself. Isla learned a valuable lesson about harassment in the workplace and the importance of speaking up about these problems. She also committed to supporting other women who were going through similar situations. Over time, people began to understand and believe Isla's story and she was able to regain her reputation. Isla also decided to get involved in causes related to harassment and help others who are going through similar situations. She used her own experience to help change the culture of harassment in the workplace and make it a safer and fairer place for women. Isla gives monthly speeches at companies, telling her story with the goal of relieving and helping people who are in the same situation. What did you think of Isla's story? Have you ever experienced harassment at work? Leave your comment below. If you liked Isla's story, subscribe to our channel to receive updates and be the first to see similar content. This will ensure you never miss an exciting and inspiring story like Isla's. Remember to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. If you want your story to be told here on the channel, send your story to the email found in the description. We would love to tell it here.